the advocates who freed a nation. How the gavel became India's sword. Imagine a grand colonial courtroom in 1870. High ceilings, wooden benches, a white wigged judge looking down. On one side, the British crown, on the other, an Indian in a black gown, standing tall, speaking flawless English, quoting British law itself to challenge British injustice. This was not just law, this was the first crack in empire's armor. Phase 1, like from 1774 to 1884, the British brought uniform law and courts to tighten their control. Calcutta Supreme Court in 1774, whereas in Madras 1801, Bombay 1824, then the High Courts in 1861. But here is the twist. They also opened law schools. They thought they were creating obedient clerks. Instead, they created warriors of words. Raja Ram Mohan Rai, not just a reformer, but a man who knew how to fight inside the legal system. He took on the social evils the British tolerated, sati, child marriage, and proved that law could be used for liberation. Dadabhai Nauroji showed with mathematical precision the drain of wealth. His argument wasn't a slogan, it was legal economic case against the empire. The impact was that Indians learned the empire's own rules. Once you know the rules, you can beat the ruler. And in the second phase, the petitioners turns into politicians. That was in between 1885 to 1905. In 1885, Bombay, the Indian National Congress is born. And guess who fills the chairs? The lawyers. Badruddin Tayyabji, Firoz Shah Mehta, Surendra Banerjee. They weren't waving swords, they were filing petitions, drafting bills, and challenging discriminatory laws. They didn't yet demand freedom, they demanded rights. They debated in legislatures, and the British, for the first time, had to answer Indians in public. The hero movement where Badruddin Tayyabji, the first Muslim president of Congress, declared, "We are one nation. Hindus, Muslims, Parsis before the law," a radical idea in a divided India. Where in the phase 3, when courtroom became battlefield, that is in between 1905 to 1915. Partition of Bengal, the mood shift. Lawyers now turns the court into a political theater. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, LLB, accused of sedition. He doesn't plead for mercy, he thunders, "Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it." The courtroom explodes in applause. C.R. Das defends Aurobindo Ghosh in the Alipur bomb case 1908. His cross-examination dismantles the prosecution. The judge acquits Aurobindo. The streets celebrate Das as a hero. V.O. Chidambaram Pillai, lawyer turned industrialist, launches a Swadeshi shipping company to challenge British monopoly. The British Raj arrests him. His defense became a lesson in economic nationalism. This had impacted. Law is no longer a slow petition. It is now a loud protest. In the phase 4, the lawyers boycott. That was in between 1915 to 1930. Here enter the M.K. Gandhi, a barrister from London, trained in South Africa, racial battlefields. In 1920, he calls on lawyers to boycott British court. This was unthinkable. Leaving a lucrative practice was like throwing away gold. And yet, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad, Motilal Nehru, C. Rajagopalachari all walked out of courtrooms and into the streets. Patel used his legal skills in Bardoli Satyagraha 1928 to expose illegal tax hikes. Farmers win. Patel became the Sardar. Motilal Nehru drafts the Nehru Report, India's first homegrown constitutional blueprint. The impact was the best legal minds of India were now building the legal case for a free nation. And in the phase 5, defenders of revolutionaries, that's in between 1920s to 1940s, some advocates took on cases the British feared most, defending men and women who had taken up arms. Asaf Ali defends Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Dutt in the assembly bomb case. Vallabhbhai Desai, INA Defense Council. His arguments shook the moral ground under the flag. K.M. Munshi, lawyer, writer, freedom fighter, arrested for Quit India movement. These were not just legal defenses, they were public trials of the empire itself. And in the phase 6, the final legal blow, in between 1942 to 1947, Quit India. The streets are on fire. But in Delhi, Red Fort, a different battle rages. The INA trials. Vallabhbhai Desai voice echoes. You call them traitors. I call them patriots. The trial is reported worldwide. Britain's moral authority crumbles. By the time the last arguments are made, they have lost the legal war, the moral war, and soon the political war. And in the final phase, advocates writes the nation's destination. In between 1946 to 1950, when freedom comes, who writes the constitution? Advocate Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Munshi, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, B.N. Rao. They used the same law once used against India to now protect India. The impact was that every right we have today is written in language of law by advocates. The British brought the gavel to rule us. We learned to wield it. We turned courtrooms into battlefields, petitions into protests, and law into weapons of liberation. India's freedom was not just one of the streets of Dandi or the fields of Bardoli. It was won in courtrooms from Calcutta to Lahore, and today the story continues. Every liberty we enjoy depends on the same black gowns, the same sharp minds, the same courage to stand before power and speak truth. The future of India is still as it was then in the hands of its advocate. Like, share, and subscribe, and proud to be an advocate.